A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Saint Matthew. Let us be attentive. At that time Jesus sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came to him, saying, Explain unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, He that sowed the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned into the fire, so shall it be at the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them that do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who hath ears to hear, let them hear. My dear parishioners, today's Gospel, today's reading is interesting for several reasons. We hear the explanation that Christ gives to one of his parables. Yesterday we heard the parable itself, and today we hear Christ's explanation of this parable, which makes it easy to understand. So let us pay attention to what we heard in this parable and try to discern how it applies to us. First of all, let's underline that this gospel and today's and this parable and actually Christ's explanation, there could be different explanations and many meanings that we could take out of this parable, but this explanation has an apocalyptic touch to it. Christ explaining this, Christ gives us a taste of his other moments in which he teaches about the apocalypse, about the end of the world. In this season we will hear several times this explanation. We will hear several times Christ teaching about what is the kingdom of heaven. Yesterday's parable started with these words, the kingdom of heaven is like the master. What is the kingdom of heaven? And why Christ gives this apocalyptic explanation? What is apocalypse? What is the end of the world? Christ gives us some ideas about it in today's explanation. He tells us, for instance, that the end of the world will come, and during this end of the world, he will send his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and then that do iniquity, and they shall cast them into a furnace of fire. If we go to the book of Apocalypse, we will have a very similar image brought to us. We will see a voice, we will hear a voice from heaven sending out angels, and the commandment will be given to them. It'll say, go and take away from the city everybody who does not have a sign, and throw them into the abyss. And actually the same words are quoted there, are mentioned there, and there shall be wailing and the gnashing of teeth. Christ mentions these words more than once. And then whoever has the sign, we read in the book of Apocalypse, whoever has the sign on his forehead shall be spared. And in today's gospel we also have people who will be, so to say, spared. The field is the world, and the good seed are the children of kingdom. How is the good seed identified so that we can become this good seed? The good seed is that which brings fruit. What does it mean to bring fruit in Christ? First and most important fruit that we have also, we hear that from Christ, that He identifies that the main fruit by which He says, my apostles, my disciples are identified, is love. This is the first fruit that the good seed brings. Love. Love towards whom? Towards the ones who offend us, towards the ones that attack us, the ones who persecute us, but also the ones that do this in a hidden way. We have to love. We have many battles to fight as Christians alongside Christ. We have to fight against sin and the many faces that sin takes upon itself in this world. But this battle has to come with love, with deep love. Love that is the first and most important fruit that Christ's disciples bring. Another very important fruit that I'd like to mention here is victory. Also, this is a parallel to the Apocalypse, the book of Revelation. The just win. They survive. They endure to the end, and they receive their compensation, so to say. Winning over the sin in our lives, winning over evil in our lives. This is another sign of the good seed. It survives with the help of God, with the help of our Mother of God, the ever Virgin Mary. Let us endure in this battle, knowing that if we are really children of Christ, we will bring the good fruit, because we are the good seed that God planted unto this world. And we are intended by Him to survive, to endure, and to win the battle against evil, and join Him in the kingdom of heaven. Glory to Jesus Christ.